Abraham built altars to the Most High in several places. These altars were usually built in places where he experienced extraordinary favor and the presence of God. Genesis 12 and 13 speaks of the altars built by Abraham to worship the Lord. When Abraham entered the land of Canaan, he built his first recorded altar there. He later moved south and pitched his tent between Bethel and Ai, where he built another altar and called upon the name of the Lord. After separating from Lot, he settled near the oaks of Mamre in Hebron and built another altar there, and later built an altar on Mount Moriah. So this explains the possibility of him doing the same for Ishmael, as the Kaaba is located just 20 meters from the well that was revealed to Ishmael's mother. So this was a place of sustenance and divine favor. Genesis records that even after Ishmael was separated from Isaac, the brothers still remained connected. Ishmael and Isaac came together to bury their father. Isaac's son Esau married Ishmael's daughter, so the brothers were never really separated as many assume. These facts are never discussed because it does not support the false narrative of Ishmael being rejected. What is so unique about the Kaaba is that it stands as a witness to God's covenant with Ishmael, who was blessed by God to become a king, with one sole purpose: to establish the worship of the Most High, to spread pure monotheism that would bring salvation to mankind. The law given to Moses strictly instructed Israel to worship God as one and not in parts. But Israel was never commanded to preach this message to the world. They were to focus on perfecting their own tribes, as they were meant to be the priest in the covenant. This strongly aligns with what the Bible calls the everlasting gospel. Revelation 14 verse 6 and 7 says, "And I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said with a loud voice, 'Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water.'" The everlasting gospel is the call to worship the Creator. Worshipping the one who made heaven and earth is the core message. Genesis reveals the Spirit of God is the one who creates and not the Holy Spirit. The Kaaba originally stood as a symbol of monotheism. However, over time it became surrounded by 360 idols. This number symbolically represents idols from every direction of the earth. Earlier, the Kaaba functioned as a major religious center and a place of pilgrimage. Tribes from many surrounding regions came there to worship. The presence of so many idols around the Kaaba reveals a fierce competition among spiritual powers from different regions of the world, each trying to claim its place before the Creator. This idea itself highlights the importance of that location. Those idols were not merely placed there as decorations. They were actively worshipped. The elimination of the 360 idols could not have been possible without divine help. The rise of Islam led to the destruction of those idols. The worship of the Most High alone was established. This moment can be seen as one of the most powerful victories for the Abrahamic faith. While the Kaaba was linked to Ishmael, the Ark of the Covenant was given to Israel. Why two symbols? These two reflect the dual expression of God as the Most High and the Most Merciful. This idea appears in the book of Job 26 verse 9. He covers the face of his throne and spreads his cloud upon it. Is it a coincidence that the Kaaba stands veiled with a black cloth? The Ark represented the mercy seat and not the entire throne. Another symbolic image appears in the story of Eden. The river that flows from Eden can be seen as a reflection of the throne. It begins in Eden, flows into the Garden of Eden, and then branches out in 4 directions across the earth. The glory begins to flow from the Most High, then moves towards the mercy seat and branches out towards creation. In this symbolic view, worship of the Most High secures a person's place in Eden. However, entering the Garden of Eden requires a pure heart. From this perspective, Islam can be seen as focusing on guiding the masses toward Eden through the worship of the Creator. Meanwhile, the teachings of Christ emphasize entering the kingdom through love, purity of intention, and transformation of the heart. The Quran and the Bible both speak of heaven and the kingdom in a distinct manner, but many Christians confuse between heaven and the kingdom. The gospel of Christ is about the kingdom, while Moses already showed the way to heaven through monotheism. Matthew 24 verse 14. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the entire world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." Jesus never came as a solution to the masses, though the gospel was to be preached to all nations. But he said many are called but few are chosen, and he spoke of the narrow way. Remember, the path to the Garden of Eden passes through Eden. Subscribe for more content on the Abrahamic faiths and deeper insights into their shared spiritual themes. and prepare for the great day of the Lord. Thanks for watching.